There's one comment from my listener. He says that he thought I was praising Mushoku Tensei, but he found that I was actually praising the video about the director's amazing technique and direction for the anime version. He also says that it doesn't mean that I'm praising the work, but the comments section is full of thanks for the compliments, Toshio Okada. Do you really think so? I think the novel version is the most amazing. The novel version is the most amazing, but the anime version has been animated without losing the greatness of the novel version. It recreates the original work as it is, but does things right that could only be done in an animated work. That's how great it is. If you asked me which one I like best, I would definitely prefer the novel version. I really admired the brilliance of the author and how the story developed in the novel version. I think I have to respect that. That is my opinion. The second season of Mushoku Tensei finally started last Sunday. It's been a while since I watched all the episodes of the first season, and I was amazed. It's a masterpiece. Today's show is a commentary on the first season of the anime Mushoku Tensei. First, let's talk about the first and second episodes. While following the story, I will talk about the animation production techniques used in the work and touch on the charm of the work. It's episode 1. The first shot of it. So this is the face of the main character. But he's dying. We can't see his whole face. Raindrops falling from above. It hits the eyeball and stays there. His eyes don't close and his pupils stay open. This is the first cut. Knowing how real it was, I kind of shifted into high gear while I was watching. After the first cut, only the names of the main staff simply appear. We still don't know what the character looks like. Normally there should be a description of the situation and the characters. At the beginning of the first episode, it should be explained what the character looks like. Because they want the audience to like the work. It is a TV animation. But they don't seem to care. It started with a close-up of a dead eyeball. Then the next shot, this is a streetlight that is tilted. It's flashing. So we can see that this is after a traffic accident. It's a serious accident that could bend a streetlight. What's happening to me right now, says the main character. It's raining heavily. We can only see the flashing streetlights. He still doesn't say what happened, how he got hit by a car, or if he's going to die. They try to tell the story with images, not dialogue. It's hard for someone with bad instincts to tell that there has been a traffic accident by the flashing, tilted street lamp. The sound of police sirens comes, then the police reports start to come in, and finally we know it was an accident. The police don't appear much. It's this flashing street lamp that's shown longer. I thought I had to watch the film carefully because it tells its story through images. So I shifted into a higher gear again. It's the third shot. It's probably one of the 3 high school students. They were 3. We hear the police radio and know that the other 2 are still missing. After the reincarnation, the main character understands that he is dead. There is a woman and he tries to reach out to her. Then he knows that his hands are baby's hands. Wow! I am reborn as a baby. But I still have the consciousness of a 34-year-old man. Apparently, my parents' names are Paul and Zenith. They are in their early 20s. For me, at 34, they're just young. He says. However, his parents speak in an unknown language. Not English. Not even a European language. It is a language we have never heard of. They try to talk to him, but all he knows is that their names are Paul and Zenith. This is the main character's monologue. The title or the opening hasn't started yet. In fact, the prehistory is already over up to this point. The title Mushoku Tensei hasn't appeared yet. Not even the subtitle of the first episode. Only a list of the names of the main cast was released. I thought this would be the same as how recent anime do their openings from episode 2 on. After watching episode 2, I figured it out. Episode 1 and episode 2 are a 45-minute story. So no opening until the end of episode 2. Each episode has its own climax or catharsis. It's also unexpected. So I wasn't aware of it at all. But I thought the director was great. The main character starts crawling around the house. And I think he's about 6 months old. He learned the language. My name is Rudius Greyrat. The lines are in Japanese from here. He begins to understand what his parents are saying. Wait. There's no bird's eye view description. I noticed. It's told from the main character's point of view. Then, what does the main character's house or village look like? Are there dragons or not? Or if there's a castle? I really want to see something like that. But it doesn't show you the whole world. It is all very subjective. When the story is told subjectively, the images become quiet. He's just a 6-month-old baby. All the scenes take place inside the house. So it's simple and quiet. Although I didn't get tired of it. Because the story is dense. And the story is told through the main character's monologue. They take advantage of the gap between the images on the screen and what is said in the monologue. I'll explain later. 2 voice actors were cast for the main character's monologue. In Detective Conan, when Conan talks childishly to adults and when he thinks to himself. The voices are different, but the voice actor plays the role alone. It is common for one voice actor to do different voices for the same character. In this anime, they wanted the adult and child voices to sound completely different. Because the man in his previous life and the reincarnated Rudius are completely different people. His voices are really different. This is an impossible expression in both the original novel and the manga adaptation. So it's a direction for the anime only. The reason I'm interested in this part is that it's difficult to direct. It should be played by a single actor. For example, wait a sec. This sounds absolutely familiar to me. Okay, let's ask it then. Hey, tell me about it more. This can be done with voice acting. In other words, this is my thought, like this. Speaking in a low voice or pretending to be a cute character can be performed by a single voice actor. Individual characters are properly created within the voice actors. However, the sound director has to switch the voices in this anime. In addition, because of COVID, I think they sometimes have to record separately. Rudy with a child's voice. Well, Rudius is called Rudy. Rudy with his inner adult voice. The main Rudy in the monologue is played by a different voice actor. So that could be recorded separately. The sound director has to record them separately and then put them together to make the piece. It's a job that can be very frustrating for voice actors. They want to do it all on their own to get to know the character. And as a sound director, he'd know what the director was trying to do, but he'd think it was unnatural. So, I feel like he was trying it out. It works well. It does work, but it's a very difficult adjustment. Next cut. Here's Rudy looking around the house. He's looking out the glass window. Rudy's face is distorted when he puts his face close to the window. It's like stained glass. This ring is made of cast iron. It has a round glass inlay. This part is also inlaid with glass. Well, that's the way it's made. It distorts the face because it is old-fashioned. Flat glass doesn't exist yet. So this scene has the right expression of Rudy's face being distorted. A bit too elaborate, isn't it? I have come to understand that this is different from so-called fantasy. The bathroom is also well drawn. Outside the window is a rural landscape. No electricity or computers here, he thinks. We still see things from Rudy's point of view, and don't know that it's a fantasy world. But then there is Rudy's father, Paul, swinging a sword in the garden. Hey, is he a cosplay freak? Rudy thinks. He still doesn't understand the situation. Rudy is startled by the sword and falls backwards. Then he hits his head. His mother runs to him. She tries to comfort him. But this fallen baby, 6-month-old Rudy, is a 34-year-old man at heart, so he doesn't cry. Mother says, "Well, I'll spell it out for you." She uses healing magic. When the mother starts chanting a spell, Rudy thought she is also a fantasy nerd. Father is wielding a sword. I was born to such strange parents. As he talks to himself, a light comes out of mother's hand and the pain disappears. No doubt. I thought something was wrong, but this is a world of swords and magic. This is another planet. Rudy thinks so and shouts. Then there's a sober creature flying in the sky in the close-up. Neither a bird nor a dragon. Sober creatures are flying. I thought it was about time for an opening or a title Mushoku Tensei here. But not yet. From here, the simple indoor scene still continues.